This series is sponsored by IKEA Oak Creek. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 12:35 on the home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
10 o'clock, we have 69 degrees and rain. We're going to get more of it, maybe up to an inch today, high of 74. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. Happening today, Milwaukee leaders will discuss possible solutions to a recent uptick in violence in the city's downtown area. Former Milwaukee lieutenant and host on 101.7 The Truth, Dr. Ken Harris, tells Wisconsin's Morning News whatever comes out of today's meeting, the issue won't be resolved overnight.
Now, nobody wants to be a cop because of George Floyd, and you've badmouthed the police, and they're terrible. Defund them, so now you're short. That's one part. The other part is that we just need to tell people, right? You need to raise your children right.
Today's Public Health and Safety Committee meeting will include testimony from Milwaukee Police and the Office of Community Wellness and Safety. A suspect in a knife attack at an apartment complex in Fond du Lac is now in custody.
The man wanted for attacking a woman with a knife was apprehended Wednesday morning during a high-risk traffic stop in Dodge County. The arrest comes after the attack in an apparent domestic violence incident at the Forest Apartments in Fond du Lac, leaving the victim with cuts on her hands and wounds to her chest, back, and upper legs. A temporary shelter-in-place order was put in effect by police overnight, and residents were evacuated from the building. The woman's health status is unknown this morning. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
That 8.8 magnitude earthquake off the coast of Russia triggered tsunami warnings. Waves have been hitting the U.S. coast for hours, but they've been pretty small.
At this point, there is no known damage in the U.S., and there was no large destructive wave. Sensors have picked up smaller waves. This man in Marina Del Rey, California, spent all night watching the water. He says it's been fascinating watching the tide.
I don't think we saw much of a tidal wave, but we have seen a lot of surge going in and then immediately reversing.
Still, people are being told to stay away from beaches. Currents could be unpredictable for a few days. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
A decision on interest rates will be announced by the Federal Reserve today. President Trump's been putting the pressure on Fed Chair Jerome Powell to cut rates, but most investors are expecting Powell will hold them steady. His term is up in about 9 months. Renewed consumer strength has helped to power an unexpectedly strong economy as measured by the nation's gross domestic product.
The U.S. produced 3% more in goods and services in the second quarter, reversing a 0.5% decline in the first. Exports fell 1.8%, but imports plunged more than 30% as President Trump's tariffs began to take effect. Trump responded to the rise in GDP with a new demand that the Federal Reserve drop interest rates. The Board of Governors will issue its decision later today. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
The ongoing lead crisis in Milwaukee Public Schools will become a constant maintenance priority for the district. Deputy Commissioner of Environmental Health for the Milwaukee Health Department, Tyler Weber, tells WTMJ there are other options MPS should look at to avoid millions of dollars in costs.
It's ultimately MPS's decision, but if parents want to advocate for, if we as a community, as a city, want dust wipe samples that come back at zero. We want lead and water samples to come back zero lead in the water. At the age of these buildings and how much lead is in the buildings, we may need just new schools.
MPS has stated previously it will choose schools impacted by lead into part of its long-range facilities plan as it looks to consolidate schools in the future. Once again this summer, Hunger Task Force is providing free meals for kids throughout Milwaukee. It's part of the Summer Meals program, ensures kids continue to receive nutritious meals when school's not in session. Hunger Task Force's Jonathan Hansen tells Wisconsin's Midday News.
So the breakfasts and lunches that kids are getting every day, suddenly that's gone during the summer months. And a family who's low income, struggling on hard times, that's a lot to make up over the course of a week, 2 weeks, 11 weeks of summer.
The program, which has been around for 20 years, provides thousands of meals to kids each summer. Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is up 10 points, NASDAQ up 74, S&P 500 is up 9. Financial planning at every level, Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:04.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. They're the best in the business. They are CertaPro painters. Now's the time to get on their schedule. Their summer sales discount goes through the end of July. Do it now. They painted our house, the outside, absolutely fantastic. They're kind, they're thoughtful. They moved our patio furniture out of the way and moved it right back where it belonged. It is CertaPro painters. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. For your home or business, they're the best. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated.
When's the last time you hopped out of bed without that knee or your back just aching? Or you walked down a flight of stairs without groaning, step by step, right? When's the last time you felt good? The pain never disappears, nothing changes, and you just kind of tough it out. WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for QC Kinetics. Well, the time is now to set up your free consultation with the pros at QC Kinetics. Their regenerative treatments help restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Natural cellular therapies that can help you. There's no knives, no pills, just long-term relief with no dreaded recovery. You can set up a consultation for free, and you can bring your x-rays and your old MRIs for a no-pressure chat and a thorough evaluation. Call QC Kinetics. Worst case, you learn something new. Best case, you get your life back. Call QC Kinetics today, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
Summer is finally here. We're outside and maybe noticing the condition of our old windows. Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors, your local experts in stylish, energy-efficient replacement windows. Boost your curb appeal with top brands like Pella, Anderson, and Marvin, tailored to fit your home, your style, and your budget. Plus, installation by employee carpenters. Wood, vinyl, fiberglass, all on display in their newly remodeled New Berlin showroom. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. Visit hometownwindows.com today.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers earned a series victory, beating the Cubs 9-3 at home. Milwaukee outfielder Jackson Chourio exited Tuesday's win over the Cubs after suffering a right hamstring spasm while running out a triple. Teams will wrap up their series today. Packers training camp, Green Bay linebacker Marshawn Lloyd didn't practice Tuesday due to a groin injury he suffered Monday. Coach Matt LaFleur says he doesn't believe the injury occurred when Lloyd was hit by cornerback Nate Hobbs, which is when Lloyd left practice. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. The ramp from I-43 North to I-41 East closed because of a crash. A lot of slowing, could be weather-related. I-94 eastbound, the Zoo interchange to downtown, going to take you a couple of extra minutes. 43 South Brown Deer Road to downtown, a couple of extra minutes as well. And I-894 northbound, the Hale interchange to the Zoo interchange, a little bit of a delay there. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. An air quality alert remains in place till noon Thursday for all of Wisconsin. These rain and storms could produce a half inch to an inch of rain today, a high of 74. Showers ending tonight, cloudy, breezy, low 64. Sunny, breezy, nice tomorrow, 72 for the high, 74 on Friday. Warming up a little bit for the weekend, but we have sunshine both Saturday and Sunday with highs both days at 78. 72 in Madison, 70 in Green Bay, and 69 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:08.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scaffidi and Kristin Brey.
Listen, guess what today is?
It's hump day. Were you going to go there?
I was ready to say that. Oh. And then producer Jazz, she beat me to the punch. Because she's smart. Just like you, Kristin Brey, Steve Scaffidi, Point Taken on this Wednesday. So many things to talk about. Mm-hmm. It's sort of like yesterday, sort of a mixed bag, and then we literally throw it open to the folks out there.
Because it is Wednesday. It is hump day, which means it is ask us anything.
Yeah, which you never know. We've already got a question lined up. I see that somebody wants us to. It's not on our official list of topics, but we're going to get to it. The recent nomination in Congress.
Confirmation.
Yeah, confirmation, I should say. Yeah, it's, oh, boy. Used to, as the texter said, it used to be when you lied to Congress, you didn't have no shot. Well, he had a shot, and he took it, and he's now a judge. Anyway, so much to talk about today. Did you hear the economy rebounded in the second quarter? Did you hear this?
I did hear this.
Yeah. So, GDP, I should say, rather, gross domestic product, second quarter up. Now, it's interesting because first quarter it was like minus 0.5. Mm-hmm. Now up nearly 3%. Annualized 3%, I guess, is the way they officially term this. And I'm going to be talking about this, by the way, Instant Insight this afternoon with Dr. Brian Jacobson at Annex. As soon as I'm done with my work here, I'm heading out to Annex.
Is their office nice?
It is gorgeous.
I imagine.
High tech.
Okay.
As you know, their employees are amazing. I worked with almost all of them. My favorite is Danny Clayton, if he's listening. Shout out to Danny Clayton, former radio guy. Still a radio guy, 'cause he's still doing commercials. Anyway, not to get too far off topic, we're going to be talking about some news today, the interest rate news, which is, as Dave Spano said yesterday in the program, is supposed to stay flat. So I'll give you my quick sort of what I think is happening here. While this is good news, it is sort of representative of a business sector. Companies basically played it safe with the tariff stuff. So,
well, there was a lot of imports last quarter.
Yes, they did all their business
last
quarter, and they sort of relied on their stock this quarter, the stuff they had already, or stuff they didn't have to import, to sort of boost their business. I think, as I said before, this story, tariff impact, policies impact, interest rate impact, all will be determined pretty far down the road, later in this year, early next year. Then we'll see real impact. But here's what we know about our economy. We talked about this yesterday. Consumer prices inching up a little bit, inching up, especially in some sectors. And it's harder than ever for some people to make ends meet. And you and I talked briefly about this before the show. The expectations for younger people in this country are not the same as the expectations for those of us who are not.
Yeah, I mean, high interest rates for you are fine. You're not trying to move.
Yeah.
You just got a nest egg that you're trying to grow.
Yeah, you can get 4.5% on just basically a CD now, which for a long time was zero or whatever, was close to zero. They had to give you something. And certainly the markets are up. So it's a sort of a mixed bag for me. While I always celebrate good news, and I appreciate the fact that the business sector, the companies are doing better in the second quarter, it's sort of a wait and see for me. How do you see it?
I think wait and see is a good...
Yeah, I think you have to.
It's interesting because since we have Dave on every Monday, which I really appreciate that segment, there is... Because I am the daughter of and sister of finance guys.
Yeah.
And it is something that feels like... I know it's important, but it is something that quickly makes my eyes glaze over. And so it is a little extra work to try to understand it, put it in context. But it is something that feels like there's an ebb and flow, and there's not like one big doomsday that seemed like it was coming. And now it's just kind of the strength of the U.S., the resiliency, let's say that, the resiliency of the U.S. economy is maybe not as volatile as some media would have you believe over the last year.
Now, context matters. So while consumer spending was up in the second quarter, 1.4 up, only 0.5 first quarter, those are two of the slowest quarters since the pandemic. So let's not get too excited about that slight 1.4% up. It's all has to be viewed historically. And when businesses are looking at their bottom lines for 2025, I think that's the year we're in, they're going to look at this year as sort of a mixed bag, right? The early part trying to just figure this stuff out, because I've talked to business owners and CEOs. They're just trying to make sense of this, because especially for people that export a lot of stuff, that's you never know week to week.
Well, and also
happening.
the tariff conversation isn't over yet, right?
No.
Like Liberation Day 2.0 is Friday, and they've said they're not extending it again. And as far as there's still not anything finalized with China, right?
Mm-hmm. No, it's not final yet.
It's not final.
And it may not be.
And so ultimately, even if there is, we said that with the EU, it's a 15% tariff, which is less than we thought. And that there's also kind of the psychology of what it could have been versus what it is, and be like, well, it's not as high as we thought it was going to be, but it's still higher than it was, right? And so there is still the downflow of, even if it's just a 10% tariff, that cost is going to get passed on to either the companies or to consumers. And what is the impact of that? Is it because it's less than it could have been? We don't feel it as much, but ultimately it's still happening. Yeah,
and the funny thing is I hear from, when you're a senior, and I am a senior by all qualifiers, basically.
You get your AARP magazine every month?
We do, yes. Which my wife loves, by the way. She always
They're good articles?
She always dog-ears stories for me to read. It's like, wow. I can just read it on the internet. I don't have to actually look at the dog-eared page in the actual publication. But anyway, I have a little problem with friends of mine who maybe have a second home, and they're texting and messaging me from their pontoon boat that they paid about $100,000 for, complaining about the economy. It's like, I think you've done okay in your life. You're good. Stop. I almost used the B word, and I would have got dumped again second week in a row. Jazz is going, good call, Steve. All right, so stop complaining. Life is good for you. Whether it's good for everybody, that's a more important question. Dr. Brian Jacobson and I will get to that question at 3 o'clock. You can still register, annexwealth.com, or at WTMJ.com. You can ask questions, too. It's really cool. And Brian is so smart.
So smart.
He is brilliant at what he does, as is everybody at Annex. All right. That's a free commercial for Annex because we love them. And Dave Spano. All right. And Danny Clayton. All right. We got a lot more to get to. I'm loving everybody today, including you, Kristin Brown.
Fest.
It's a love fest on this Hump Day edition. Point taken, 620 WTMJ.
The historic Fox and Hound Supper Club is the most beautiful, unique, and affordable summer dining destination. WTMJ's John Merck here. I love the Fox and Hounds. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free, including prime rib every Wednesday and Saturday, desserts and ice cream drinks, buy one, get one free. Order a hand-cut choice ribeye steak, pan-seared scallops, the roasted duck, pan-fried walleye, pasta, the ribs, any entree, your second dinner is free. 7 nights a week. Wow, what a value. Relax with a cold beverage on that patio in the woods, then dinner in one of the 8 unique dining rooms. Your second dinner is free. It is a dining experience at the historic Fox and Hounds. The award-winning Fox and Hounds Supper Club off Highway 167 near Holy Hill. The drive through the Kettle Moraine is stunning. A Wisconsin summer must-see. Wherever you live, it's worth the beautiful drive and free dinner at the Fox and Hounds. So step away from your kitchen, call and reserve your free dinner today. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, CertaPro Painters. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. Yet at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ's Steve Scaffidi and Loyal Family Renovations. They saved the day after a brutal storm in Oak Creek. Hail damage, yeah, I had a lot of it. But Jeff, Jake, and the whole team, absolute pros, made the entire process smooth as can be. Let's be honest, not everyone knows how to deal with adjusters. They handle all the questions, quick answers, top-notch customer service. In just 2 days, my roof was done. If storm damage hits, call the team that made it easy for me. Loyal Family Renovations. Visit loyalfamilyrenovations.com.
Welcome back to Point Taken. I am Kristin. He is Steve. And I feel like this is something that most of us can agree on. And when we hear about it, are pretty disgusted by it.
I don't know why it's controversial,
The
to be honest.
fact that our senators and congressmen and women are heavily invested in the stock market. And we often see not so shocking changes in their portfolio when they know certain laws are happening. There was a lot of controversy over when COVID was coming and Congress had access to some of that information and what stocks went up or down. One way to be heavily invested in the stock market, just follow what Nancy Pelosi does.
Yeah. I think the only person that's ever lost money as a member of Congress is George Santos, right?
Who's now in jail, right?
Yeah,
I think he's had like a farewell Instagram post as he made his way to prison.
Does he post from jail and prison?
I have no idea. Anyways,
Anyway.
Josh Hawley has a bill that
Republican.
a Republican
Yeah.
from Missouri has proposed a stock trading ban, and it is turning into a little bit of a headache because it turns out to move the bill forward. The bill may now have to also include banning the president and vice president from investing in the stock market, which, once again, I don't think is a bad thing. I think the people who are in charge of making laws that impact the success or failure of certain companies and the regulations that go into certain businesses and industries that make it harder or easier to do business, they shouldn't have a perverse incentive to then make money off of the laws that they are citing.
Let's quote the president. Time magazine interviewed him in the past. Would you support a ban on congressional stock trading? Well, I watched Nancy Pelosi get rich through insider information, and I would be okay with it. If they send that to me, I would do it. Time magazine. You'll sign it? Trump? Absolutely.
But that didn't say about himself.
Yeah. So you think that'll be the stumbling block? Hawley needed to do that, put that in for Democrats to vote for it. Is that that's my understanding?
That's the understanding from Axios as far as reading the reporting on it, that this was in needing Democrats to vote for it. he added that to the bill, which I think ultimately could lead the bill to not moving forward potentially. But I would be much more in favor of senators and representatives getting a pay increase, like them making more money and not being able to invest in the stock market.
Yeah,
I think that's a better trade-off, because I do think that we need to pay elected officials, public servants, more money in order for those positions to attract our best and brightest.
I don't disagree.
And so, but like I've heard Speaker Mike Johnson try to argue that the reason why they should be allowed to invest in the stock market is because they don't have a competitive wage or something like that. I was like, I would rather you not be making money off of the market and just get a higher income.
It also, in some ways, reduces the impact of lobbyists, people who are giving you inside information and maybe even factoring into your decision-making beyond just the financial one in things you do in Congress. The president, as I said, indicated he is supportive, obviously not without the executive and the vice president included in that. But I think when you look at those sort of additional requirements, president, vice president, I think the problem the White House has and the administration has, he didn't tell him, Josh Hawley, that he was doing that work. He didn't give him a heads up. So they were surprised by that. And one thing President Donald Trump doesn't like is to be surprised.
It's true.
That's the last thing he wants to hear about. So I think this is a good first step to getting this done. Again, we'll see what the president has been wishy-washy on things he's previously said he agreed with, and then has changed his mind and gone back and forth on a million things. I would hope that a president of the United States and a vice president would understand that sort of divestment from your independent financial decisions, supposedly independent, should be a good thing for a government official.
And the truth is, as I say this, I mean, also what stops anyone from just giving the information to their spouse?
True.
Right, and their spouse can still be invested, I imagine.
Or you say something to your broker. I'm letting you manage my stuff, but hey, I just heard from somebody, that kind of stuff.
Put it in like a trust fund for your kid.
Yeah, that stuff happens now outside of
Well,
government.
that's what even like putting businesses in other people's names to avoid a conflict of interest, right?
Sure. There's a lot of shady business that happens in government and beyond government. We shall see. Josh Hawley, good luck in getting this through the Congress, and we'll see if the president signs it. He said in the past he would. We will find out. Lots more to get to. Point taken, Kristin, Steve, on this Hump Day edition. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget, 11:30. Ask us anything. Always entertaining and informative. Quick break.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
I've always believed that great service makes all the difference. At Waterstone Bank, it's more than just banking. It's personal. When I needed help choosing an account, my banker took the time to understand my needs and guided me through my options. Thanks to her advice, I can watch my money grow, knowing it's secure.
Welcome to your Waterstone Bank, where community and personal service come together. Member FDIC.
Wow, a bomb by Yelich. Join the crew for an electric matchup when the Brewers host the Mets August 8th through the 10th. The weekend starts with a celebration at Cerveceros Night on Friday the 8th, featuring makers markets, music, and more. Then don't miss an all-new Kristin Yelich bobblehead giveaway on Saturday the 9th, courtesy of American Family Insurance. Close out the series with Sunday Matinee Baseball and a limited edition Jacob Mizorowski t-shirt giveaway. Grab your tickets at Brewers.com.
WTMJ's Brandon Snide for Wisconsin Harley-Davidson. Are you ready for another great ride? Wisconsin Harley-Davidson has you covered. Join them this Saturday for the 28th annual Waukesha Sheriff's K9 Ride. Take a great ride courtesy of the Sheriff's Department with your final destination being at Wisconsin Harley-Davidson. Enjoy music from the Potentials, the K9 demo, food, and so much more. A great day supporting our law enforcement. All info can be found at WISHD.com or find them on Facebook under their events. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on August 5th.
Turio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Atlanta Braves.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tune in August 5th at 6:15 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Oh, never go wrong with the Doors.
I saw a funny TikTok the other day that said something along the lines of, like, every woman who has great taste in music has a dad who always asked her, "Who sings this? What band is this?" Every time a song started, and it reminded me of you. Did you do that? Did you do that to your daughters? Did you test them on their music knowledge?
No.
Okay.
No. But I'm not the regular dad. I'm a unique.
You're a cool dad?
I'm a cool dad. As somebody upstairs, one of our teammates said, "You're a girl dad, aren't you?" So apparently that's a recognizable trait.
Okay.
Yeah, which I took as a compliment. You think?
I think it's a compliment.
Yeah. So thanks to my teammate for saying that. I want to let's just tee this up.
Because we don't have enough time to get into it.
Yeah, we're going to do something on this, and we may even do the podcast now. We're still figuring that out. You need to listen to the podcast, and literally it's a command and a must-listen-to podcast. Is likability important doing what we do?
Yes.
I sort of agree with that, yeah. But it's not the be-all and end-all. Like, I realize that, like, half the people aren't going to like me and half like me.
But I think there's a difference between disagreeing with someone and not liking them.
Yeah.
Like, I disagree with Bill McCoshen on almost everything, but I very much enjoy sparring with him. I appreciate his charisma. Like, I would consider Bill like a friend, but I disagree with him on almost everything. But I also think he's a likable guy.
So lately, and I've said this a lot, and you said it too, I don't spend a lot of time reading the comments on our post, and we post a lot. You are brilliant.
Well, Jazz is crushing it as far as getting clips out every day from the show.
I'll just say it.
On social media.
As far as producers go at WTMJ, Jazz is probably the top echelon as far as social media work now, and in other areas as well. Talk about stretching yourself in what the work that you do. Well done, Jazz. So, but I started sort of sampling the comments, and I was just kind of looking on the News Radio 620 WTMJ page, Facebook page.
Facebook is a cesspool.
Yeah, I was going to call out some people, but I'm not going to do that. I was actually use their real name.
Oh.
Because in a couple of cases, they put the real name on it. And Dean somebody is one of our top fans, apparently. And all he does is make bizarre references to other stations. He seems like an emotional wreck. He seems very immature. A lot of emojis, which I think is a telltale sign that you're, stunted intellectually.
Mental midget?
Yeah, stunted intellectually, as the way I was going to put it. I just see a lot of... So, Dean, if you're out there listening, because apparently you listen even though you don't like it, which is also a weird thing. Like, who subjects themselves daily to things they don't like? Wouldn't you, move away from that? Dean?
Some people, you got to feel something. Sometimes people just got to feel...
Are they dead inside?
Alive,
They're
yeah.
dead inside.
And so they got to feel the rage to get going.
And what else I learned is, even though you're a top fan, you may not like anything that you and I do.
Well, I think what's also interesting is that, to be totally blunt, this station has changed over time.
Sure.
This station went from when you joined less than a decade ago to what it is today. Different voices, different lineup. And so I think there's a fair amount of people who liked it the way that it was.
Sure.
And do not necessarily appreciate what it is now. And they're missing what they once had. And so they like to have outlets to complain about that.
Let me give those people advice, because I've done it both ways. Strong conservative take on a lot of opinions, because that's what I was hired to do. And I've sort of evolved in the way I think about things. And I realize as an adult and someone that uses their gray matter as much as possible, even at an advanced age, because I think that's a good skill, is that there's benefits in listening to people who disagree with you.
I agree.
Stretch yourself. And if your only satisfaction in life is listening to some knucklehead talk about things that you agree with, what challenge is that?
Like AI just giving you the answer and everything. Your brain's going to start to...
Cheating with AI. You might as well just turn music on. Doors would be a good first choice. All right. We have local news.
So we're going to talk more about this later?
We are going to get to this,
okay.
yes. Before we get to any of that with Connie Weber, we're going to go now to the latest. I say latest from ABC.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Texas Republicans have unveiled a new congressional map that creates 5 additional GOP-leaning districts, bolstering their chances of keeping control as they brace for challenging midterms. A positive GDP report out this morning. The U.S. produced 3% more goods and services in the second quarter, reversing the 0.5% decline in the first 3 months of the year. President Trump also announcing 25% tariffs on India.
The president also recently announcing the framework for a deal with the European Union and saying that he signed a trade agreement with Japan last week, but still consumers bracing for potential price hikes. The president's tariff policies are projected to cost the average U.S. household $2,400 a year, according to one estimate.
ABC's Jay O'Brien in Washington. The Federal Reserve is wrapping up its 2-day meeting this afternoon and is not expected to raise or lower interest rates. Tsunami warnings downgraded as the threat diminishes following a strong earthquake off the coast of Russia. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:31. I'm Connie Weber. Wisconsin has joined a multi-state lawsuit challenging the Trump administration's demand that states turn over personal data of people enrolled in the SNAP program. The USDA says the data will help it combat waste, fraud, and abuse, but in the lawsuit, Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul and the coalition argue the demand violates multiple federal privacy laws of the more than 42 million people it serves. Police chase in Milwaukee turns deadly. A reckless driver being chased by police on Humboldt Avenue crashed into another vehicle at the intersection with Brey, killing that driver that was hit. The driver who ran from police was arrested. 15-year-old hiker rescued after falling down a bluff in Warnemont Park in Cudahy. Rescuers got to the teen in about 10 minutes. The hiker is okay. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is down 58 points, 44,574. NASDAQ up 44, 21,143. S&P 500 up a point to 6,372. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. The ramp from I-94 west to Brewers Boulevard closed because of a crash there. Still a little bit of slowing in at least one spot. I-43 southbound Brown Deer Road to downtown taking a couple of extra minutes. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. The air quality alert remains in place till noon Thursday for all of Wisconsin. Rain and storms this morning with a high of 74. Those showers should end early tonight. A low 64. Sunny, breezy, nice tomorrow with a high of only 72. Friday's high 74. And then sunshine for the weekend with highs both Saturday and Sunday. 78 degrees. It's 73 in Madison, 71 in Green Bay, 69 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:33.
WTMJ's John Mercure here. If you're trying to make sense of this economy and where we're headed, Friday, August 1st, you need to check out a webinar with Annex Wealth Management's Chief Economist, Brian Jacobson. Friday, August 1st at 9 a.m. It's Instant Insight. Just after the jobs report is released, Brian will provide instant analysis on the employment picture, answer your questions, and explain what it all means to you and your money. Visit WTMJ.com and click the Instant Insight Register Now button or check out events at AnnexWealth.com.
Tony Evers and the Madison Democrats are too weak and too radical. But the same old career politicians can't stop them.
I'm Bill Berrien, a former Navy SEAL and Wisconsin manufacturer. I'm an outsider and a businessman, just like President Trump. I'm running for governor to advance the Trump agenda, shake up Madison, and put Wisconsin citizens first.
Let's fire the bureaucrats. Hire the outsider. Bill Berrien for governor. Paid for by Bill for Governor.
It's worth $100 now to save thousands later. Vince Vitrano for Urban Heating and Cooling. Family-owned business. Ryan and his wife, Ellie. I had Ryan out to the Vitrano house for an AC tune-up. Cleaned out all the coils, checked for any issues that could cause breakdowns, set up my air conditioner to run more efficiently all summer. This service available in your home for just $99 plus tax, saving on your electric bills, helping prevent more costly repairs down the road. Tell them Vinny sent you when you call. UrbanHeatingandCooling.com.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Welcome back to Point Taken. I am Kristin Brey. He is Steve Scaffidi. And I don't even think I understand where this started, how this started. Part of me thinks it's a plant just to keep it in the news. But here we go. So, you're familiar with Sydney Sweeney?
I am. Euphoria. Great show.
Euphoria. She had a character arc on Handmaid's Tale. She's been in multiple rom-coms now. She was in the first season of White Lotus.
Yeah.
Great actress. Also, a beautiful actress.
Mm-hmm.
Also, one of my favorite stories about her is she was thinking about getting a breast reduction when she was still a teenager. And her mom said, "You're going to regret that." And she's very happy she did not do that.
Listen to your mom.
She has very big breasts, to put it lightly. But she's beautiful. And so last week, amongst some of the meme stock conversations happening with Kohl's and Krispy Kreme and GoPro, American Eagle, a store that I used to frequent when I was a teenager. Shout out to Westtown Mall in Madison. I have not shopped there in a very long time, though. Introduced their new campaign starring Sydney Sweeney, and the stock skyrocketed.
Yeah.
Because it is a very overtly sexual commercial that also plays on the very dad pun of good genes, meaning your hereditary genes, your genetics, and good genes being the jeans you put on and wear.
That she was wearing in the commercial.
So totally understand if you have, some people who maybe have a problem with the objectification of women, sex sells, et cetera, et cetera. But there has also now been, and this is why I totally understand when people are like woke, like the woke people are insufferable. Because if this is real, and part of me does think that this is a plant just so it stays in the zeitgeist and people are talking about it. But there are people who are saying because she has blonde hair and blue eyes, that it is a dog whistle for eugenics when she references having good genes. And it makes me want to just pull my hair out, and it's so dumb, and it's so online, and it's like it's a pun. It's a pun that is made millions of times as far as good genes and the jeans that you wear, and it's the most insufferable thing that I think has happened this week.
Yeah, my quick take is it's an effective ad because it works. People are talking
about it, right?
And it's harmless, and it has nothing to do with eugenics. The idea that you can improve the population through selective breeding. It's like, come on, people.
Because my thing is like you could have put any beautiful woman in that ad who wasn't blonde-haired and blue-eyed, and I would imagine like if it's Ana de Armas, who's like I think is the most beautiful woman in Hollywood right now. There's a lot, but she's unbelievable.
She's the one that's dating Tom Cruise?
Yeah, weird. Yeah. I mean, that's a whole other topic. But she's brown. She's Cuban.
Yeah.
I'm not sure anyone's, like, is that argument fall apart? Is it only because she has blonde hair and blue eyes and that's like the Hitler's Nazi, like, master race thing? Or is it, it's
manufactured
so
nonsense. And I've said this for a long time. I don't care what your opinion is and what your presentation, what your commercial is. There will be movie is, whatever. Someone will find some critical thing to just make their point so they can get clicks on their social media. That's what they're doing. Some idiot that's had 200,000 likes because of some post about this being racist or promoting eugenics. It's stupid.
The discourse is broken if this is where we are.
It's
like, oh
dumb.
my God.
And Sweeney,
as the kids say, go touch grass.
Go outside. Sydney Sweeney has been political.
Not that political.
A little bit. She's tweeted some stuff, but I don't have a problem with that. Because when you're an actress or an actor or famous, doesn't mean you give up your right to have an opinion about something.
No, but I would say in the realm of celebrities who
low on the low
think
end.
about how many. I don't know how many times you got reached out to during the campaign last year. Like the Kamala Harris campaign had a lot of celebrities being offered up to be interviewed during the campaign, and like Sydney Sweeney wasn't one of those.
Yeah,
but I also don't think she was out there. I mean, MAGA tries to claim her. Like there was this whole. I remember. I think this was last year. There was a conversation that was happening on right circles as far as like reclaiming like sexy women. So like the Hawk Tuah thing from last year, right?
Right, yeah.
And it's kind of Sydney Sweeney being on SNL, being like showing her body off and stuff like that, of saying like woke is dead, and like there was specifically right-wing masculinity of women who were like showing off their sexuality and stuff, and that all of a sudden became more like conversations were happening as far as like the right trying to claim that, which I think is weird because
it's dumb.
The sexual liberation movement was definitely intertwined with feminism or parts of feminism, and so the whole thing is dumb. I don't even know where I'm going with that conversation.
You started talking about, some people think women are objectified, and that does happen in real life.
But that's always happened.
But Sydney,
That's
I'm
like
pretty sure that Sydney Sweeney is making her own decisions here.
They actually said that. They in their conversations, I think someone from American Eagle posted, I think on LinkedIn, kind of talking about the creation of the campaign. And she goes, well, how far do you want to push this? And Sydney Sweeney was just like, let's push it. Like she was very much in the creative behind this ad as far as bought in on it.
Is this still a phrase? Take a chill pill? Is that an old-fashioned phrase? Probably old-fashioned, right? That's what I would suggest people.
I'm sure someone would take offense to that as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure it has something that's dated back as far as
oh my God.
how people used to be sedated in institutions, and so we can't say that anymore either.
Also stupid, that belief.
Are we going to talk about the involuntary commitment executive order at some point?
Sure, but not today.
Not today. It just made me think about that.
We got enough on our plate.
We got a lot today.
After the break, our teammate Tori Lowe is going to join us on Serious Conversation. He'll join us on the hotline after this on Point Taken on 620 WTMJ.
We ran the numbers. Overseas furniture makers charge an extra 38% to package and ship iffy furniture to the Midwest.
So out of $1,000, you're paying $380 for nothing that makes the product better.
But 82% of Penny Mustard's furniture is made within 300 miles of us.
So we're able to invest that extra $380 into higher quality materials and craftsmanship.
American-made furniture that lasts for generations.
When you shop at Penny Mustard, it adds up.
PennyMustard.com.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga for Comfort Awnings. This summer, I'm getting relief from the hot sun whenever I need it with my motorized retractable awning from Comfort Awnings. Sensors are also available that detect strong wind and rain to extend or retract your awning. They even protect against UV radiation so you can safely enjoy the outdoors all summer long. Family owned and located in Burlington, Comfort Awnings expertly installs custom awnings that fit your home and style. Right now, you can receive $250 off all awnings and screens. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
You don't have to be going for the largest personal injury verdict in state history to call us, or the largest product liability verdict in state history. But just in case it gets that big, we're the ones most qualified to handle it. Since 1930, our firm has handled and won the largest personal injury cases in Wisconsin history. And we want to handle your car accident case too. Habish, Habish & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service. Visit habish.com for more information.
The very front of the Brewers front office is on Wisconsin's Morning News.
I think it's something sort of our brand of baseball. You know, we're going to play you tough and play hard night in and night out, and we're here and we're going to fight you all 9 innings.
Brewers GM and Senior Vice President Matt Arnold is our Brewers 360 guest every Thursday morning at 8:45.
How soon do I start asking you about trades and stuff, Matt?
My phone's always on, so no.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Big Fish Contracting.
Take your family to the Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford or Oshkosh today for the Wednesday all-you-can-eat fish fry and just $7.99. Kids 5 and under eat free from the kids menu. Just walk in for your $7.99 fish fry. It's big food. It's big fun. It's the Mine Shaft restaurant.
We're going to shift gears a little bit. I was reading this story. We were reading this story yesterday. Here's the headline. Milwaukee City officials expressed concern over uptick in gun violence on Water Street. I know that our station reported this heavily yesterday. Just water incidents on Water Streets. It's a sort of that's always been a popular area in Milwaukee, and people point fingers, and like Alderman Bob Bauman said it's a law enforcement problem. They don't have a plan. Basically, I'm paraphrasing. Other people have weighed in on that, but I had a conversation with our teammate Tori Lowe yesterday. I said, we got to get your take on this because Tori is all over this, and he's always talking about it on his program. Tori Lowe joins us on the hotline on 620 WTMJ. Good morning, Tori.
Hey, how you doing, Steve?
Always good. Kristin and I, we wanted to have you on because I know your perspective is obviously different from ours, but I know that you're plugged into this issue. You talk about it a lot on your show. You sort of live the issue. You're always there available for people when they need help. What is your sense of this story? Violence in big cities is a problem across the country. It's not unique to Milwaukee, but you threw a number at me, I think it was yesterday, that said in the city of Milwaukee, we're sort of overrepresenting on the violence side. Why do you think that is?
Well, the thing is, it was just I think it was from a survey that came out just the other day on July 27th, that Milwaukee was the 13th most dangerous city per 100,000 people. And the thing is, when we have money coming in for violence prevention, and when we have resources and they're not being used correctly or they're being mismanaged, then over years of the mismanagement, now you're seeing what you can't sweep under a rug right now. And I've been talking about this for years. I've been saying we need to get the right things in place because we do have I don't know what's going on right now, but we had the funds coming in to really get ahead of a lot of this. But when you have a lot of misuse of funds and neglect, now this is the stuff that you cannot sweep under the rug. Now it's outright in your face, and nothing stays in one spot. Let's say there's a lot of violence on the north side, or there's violence in a certain area of the city. Well, after neglect, now we're seeing all sides of the city having issues of violence, and we just got to regroup, rethink, and reshape how we're putting funds to use. Because we at least from what I saw over the years, we had enough money coming in to get ahead of all of this.
Well, Tori, what are some of the programs you think would have been better to invest in? Like, what are some of the things that could be moving the needle?
Well, what could be moving the needle is more grassroots ideas where I meet a lot of organizations that can't get funding, but they're doing the hard labor. They're the ones housing young people, giving them opportunities, taking in children from the neighborhood that are not that doesn't have a stable home. One of those organizations came out to the Walk Against Violence. Mommy Cares. It's an organization called Mommy Cares, but they can't get funding. But they got all of these young people cleaning up. They're doing cleanups. They're doing home ec classes. And they don't even get any funding. So I just say I don't know how certain people get funding. Or because when you go to look for the results, and this is something that the Common Council talks about all the time, where are the results when they go and do these evaluations? I think there's another evaluation coming up what they're saying after what happened with Brady Street, Water Street, and it's the same thing. They always ask these questions. Every time something happens and they say, oh, what to do? But like I said, if you look last year, they did this already. So you just see a bunch of conversations and no real action. And I'm just tired of it because now it's starting to spread in areas where you don't normally see a lot of negative activity.
Tori Lowe joining us from the Tori Lowe Show on The Truth. I know you have lost friends to violence, gun violence specifically.
Right.
This is not just something that you advocate for as far as knocking those numbers down and making us more safe. But this is a personal journey for you as well. Talk about that.
Right. Well, a young man, his name was OG Tweezy, young Tweezy. He was a Bucks super fan, and he lost his life in the Water Street shootings. And we just had a huge funeral at Discovery World, a beautiful funeral, but he shouldn't have been a funeral. It shouldn't have never happened. And many times when we say, how did this happen? How can we get ahead of it? Many times you got to start years ahead of time for prevention. Prevention is preparing for something, not reaction, you know. So I think that in my mind, when I see that my friend, one of the brighter people in the community where everybody loved him, filled Discovery World from front to back during the funeral, the whole city is mourning right now because we lost somebody that wanted to make sure everybody had fun. He was one of the prime fan members when the Bucks was winning the championship. He was front row. They called him Front Row Tweezy. And, you know, Peter Fagan, he knew all of the Bucks administrative. And so now he's gone and other people are losing their lives and downtown is being negatively affected now. And I'm going to tell you right now, I've never seen the downtown area or Water Street or Brady Street or in the heart of downtown this way in my whole life. I've never seen this type of violence in the city of Milwaukee.
Tori Lowe, we got to let you go, but I always appreciate your wisdom. Thanks for being a great teammate. Thanks for being a leader in the community. I know you do a lot of work that people sometimes don't hear about, but I know you had a day named after you in the city of Milwaukee, so somebody's hearing about your story.
Hey, look, let me tell you something, and I salute to you because, you know, I am always blessed to have you around because you were a mayor at one point and you give great advice. And I think that it's up to us. If we're going to make change, we got to tell them what we need.
Love it. Tori, thanks for joining us.
God bless you.
All right. Tori Lowe Show, Truth.
Tap in.
Absolutely. He's a great listener, and he got a lot of energy. I don't know how he does it. He stays up late at night. He's helping people. You don't even hear about the people he helps. They call him and he goes out.
Yep. He's very, very invested, very involved.
He's not afraid of anybody, and it's one of the things I admire about him. So he's our teammate, and he's a great teammate on top of that. All right, we got a quick break here. We'll wrap up the 10 o'clock hour. I'm just getting warmed up. You know who's listening today? Your husband is listening to us today.
He thanked you for making me more moderate.
Yeah, he did thank me. All right, we'll take a quick break here on 640 WTMJ.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on August 5th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Atlanta Braves.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tune in August 5th at 6:15 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Hey, I was just talking about this. Somebody asked me about Milwaukee weight loss the other day and away from the show, and I said, you know what? It changed my life at a time when I needed my life to be changed. Now, for me, it was just wanted to feel better, wanted to have better health, look better, pants fit better, all that stuff. I've been on a lot of international trips. I want to look good for that, for those pictures that you take in front of all those great monuments across the world. But I did it with the help of Milwaukee Weight Loss. And if you tried some of the other trendy stuff, the shots, some of the gimmicky, you know, the meals, the bars, the shakes, all that, and you're just yo-yo dieting and going up and down and up and down, Milwaukee Weight Loss will help you reset your metabolism. What does that mean? Well, you control it. Your willpower makes it happen with great coaching from the folks at Milwaukee Weight Loss. They can make this a reality for you. It's doctor-developed and natural. It helps thousands of people lose up to 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks. And then it's up to you to maintain. I'm doing that. I've actually lost a few pounds in my maintenance phase. Want to stop all that crazy yo-yo stuff? Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com or call today. Don't wait. Schedule your free consultation. 262-393-2334.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
Hey, this is Honest Eddie from the car lot down the street.
Hi, Honest Eddie.
Is it true your showrooms don't have any employees?
That's right. Hasselus Mattress showrooms are employee-free.
Now, don't you be dishonest with Honest Eddie.
It's true. Give the mattresses a try with no pushy sales guy. And through Monday, get additional instant savings of $248 off Sealy Posturepedic and Beauty Rest.
Son, to make it in sales, you gotta pressure people. Like, what's your budget? Or I know it's the most expensive model, but trust me, it's the right one for you. And what's it going to take to get you into a Sealy Posturepedic or Beauty Rest today?
But that's hassling customers.
Yeah, so?
Our store is called Hassle Less Mattress.
Just change the name. How about Wacky Westerns?
Uh-oh, you're breaking up. Gotta go.
Wait, no, let me talk to my manager.
Hassle-less mattress, 100% Eddie-free. Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at hasseless.com.
I'm Matt Dorner, CEO of Milwaukee Downtown Bid 21. Our business leaders value downtown Milwaukee.
I'm Paul Sternlieb, CEO of Enerpac Tool Group. We moved our headquarters to downtown Milwaukee earlier this year, and we love it. Downtown has such a vibrant atmosphere. Our dynamic new workplace here will help us expand our business and attract and retain world-class talent.
Get down to business at MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
The historic Fox and Hound Supper Club near Holy Hill is hiring experienced line cooks. Evening and weekend hours are required. You'll make real money and always be busy. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids. Inquire today. Start next week. Visit foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
This afternoon at 3 o'clock, I'll be joining Dr. Brian Jacobson at Annex Wealth. I think it's Brookfield, Waukesha. Their beautiful offices to talk about the upcoming, at that point we'll probably know.
What time is that supposed to be announced?
It just says later this afternoon.
Okay.
So this is at
the
3.
Fed decision.
Yeah, Fed decision. Obviously, all the focus has been on Jerome Powell, who leads the Fed, and Donald Trump, President of the United States. And, they're sort of back and forth. And I thought Jerome Powell schooled them last week when they were touring their under construction building.
I don't know if it was just such a
He set the
funny,
record straight.
It was just such a funny exchange of, I want to know how hard Trump patted him on the back.
Yeah.
With
a little extra.
With a little extra oomph
He
behind
didn't like it. He could tell he was not comfortable with it.
I don't think, we joked with Dave Spano on Monday. I was like, I don't think this is just a Curb Your Enthusiasm scene. Textbook. It was just so awkward and so hilarious, but also I was like, of course, this is the relationship these two have.
Yeah, which is probably more common in this administration than we think. All right, so if you still want to register, and you can ask questions of Dr. Brian Jacobson, and I will be there as well. Instant Insight today, 3 o'clock. Register at WTMJ.com. You can find the banner, or at AnnexWealth.com. They do a great job there. And for those who join, I'll see you at 3 o'clock. News is next.
Paying you to live more comfortably. A deal you do not want to pass up. Vince Vitrano for USA Insulation. They will insulate your walls from the exterior. No disruption inside your home. Blow in loose fiberglass in the attic, plus air seal everything. Most homeowners feeling a difference within 24 to 48 hours. And with government rebates, you could save 40 to 60% or more. No work for you to do. USA Insulation will process everything. Visit usainsulation.net. Start saving today.
USA Insulation.
Here's to experiencing it all this summer in Wisconsin. Every deliciously cheesy, rockin', magical, fireworks-filled, festival-loving moment. There's Cheese Curd Fest in Ellsworth, Strawberry Fest in Cedarburg, Festival of the Arts in Stevens Point, and the Renaissance Fair in Bristol, Honor the Earth Powwow in Hayward, Mile of Music in Appleton, Venetian Fest, Bratfest, Summerfest. So many fests for your whole crew. Find them all at travelwisconsin.com.
There's nothing out there close to this.
For their accounts payable workflow, Junior Achievement of Wisconsin implemented a document management and workflow automation solution from James Imaging Systems. Junior Achievement Vice President of Enterprise Services, Lori Salzman, highlights the positive impact.
That impact has made it much more streamlined for us to handle the entire process from receiving an invoice to having it paid.
How has streamlining your accounts payable workflow benefited Junior Achievement's mission?
It has allowed us to be more on mission and strategically reach out and expand our impact to be able to reach more students.
If others are looking for workflow automation solutions to better serve their clients or customers, what's your suggestion?
If anybody is looking for a good partner that is there to help find solutions, call James Imaging.
Content management and workflow automation from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes senior living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Marilyn.
I've been volunteering for over 30 years, so I got to know the community and loved it. We have a theater, community room, and we have bocce outside. They have gardens all over the campus that the residents tend to. Quilting groups, sewing groups, knitting groups, just lots and lots of amenities. Never a boring day.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
I've always believed that great service makes all the difference. At Waterstone Bank, it's more than just banking. It's personal. When I needed help choosing an account, my banker took the time to understand my needs and guided me through my options. Thanks to her advice, I can watch my money grow, knowing it's secure.
Welcome to your Waterstone Bank, where community and personal service come together. Member FDIC.
First pitch. Breaking ball. Hit high. Hit deep. Left center. Bye-bye baseball.
It's the Brewers and the Cubs in an NL Central standoff.
The legend of Andrew Vaughn keeps growing.
This series is sponsored by IKEA Oak Creek. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 12:35 on the home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
11:01, we have rain and 69 degrees. That rain should taper off this evening after a high today of 74. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. Suspect in an overnight knife attack at an apartment complex in Fond du Lac arrested this morning. A 43-year-old man picked up during a traffic stop in Dodge County. The attack at the Forest Apartments overnight left a woman with wounds on her chest, back, legs, and hands. Other residents were evacuated while shelter in place was ordered. Today, Milwaukee leaders will discuss possible solutions to a recent uptick in violence downtown. Former Milwaukee lieutenant and host on 1017 The Truth, Dr. Ken Harris, tells Wisconsin's Morning News, whatever comes out of today's meeting, the issue won't be solved overnight.
Now, nobody wants to be a cop because of George Floyd, and you've badmouthed the police, and they're terrible, defund them, so now you're short. That's one part. The other part is that we just need to tell people, right? You need to raise your children right.
Today's Public Health and Safety Committee meeting will include testimony from Milwaukee Police and the Office of Community Wellness and Safety. Friday, President Trump's tariffs go into effect for dozens of countries. ABC's Jay O'Brien says the percentages vary.
The president also recently announcing the framework for a deal with the European Union and saying that he signed a trade agreement with Japan last week. But still, consumers bracing for potential price hikes. The president's tariff policies are projected to cost the average U.S. household $2,400 a year, according to one estimate.
U.S. businesses, of course, the ones to pay the tariffs. Many of them have said they will have to increase the prices to offset those increased costs. Federal Reserve set to make an announcement on interest rates later today. President Trump's been putting the pressure on Fed Chair Jerome Powell to cut rates, but most investors are expecting Powell will hold them steady. His term is up in 9 months. Advisories being lifted after a massive earthquake off Russia's far eastern coast caused tsunami waves to reach U.S. shores. The magnitude 8.8 quake, one of the strongest in recorded history, setting up tsunami alerts across the Pacific. Evacuations were ordered in Hawaii ahead of the wave arriving last night, but the orders have since been lifted. Milwaukee County investing in one of its most iconic landmarks.
County Executive David Crowley and Milwaukee Chairwoman Marcelia Nicholson signed a legislation Wednesday committing $30 million to restore the Mitchell Park domes. Guy Smith, Executive Director of Milwaukee County Parks, says the project is bigger than the glass structure itself.
I think that this is a true testament to Milwaukee. The elected officials, the community, especially the surrounding neighborhood, is so supportive, and the time is now, and we have the right partners.
The restoration will happen through a public-private partnership led by the Milwaukee Domes Alliance. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
United and JetBlue have announced a points partnership where travelers with miles on either airline can use them interchangeably. It's not a merger, but ABC's Sam Sweeney says it can help travelers fly to more destinations and help airlines expand into more markets.
United has been desperate to get back into JFK Airport for a number of years. It's a lucrative airport where they can do a lot of flights, especially those transcontinental flights between New York and California. They don't have service at JFK right now, and this will open about 8 landing slots or 8 round trips each day for United as early as 2027.
The partnership approved by the Department of Transportation. Judging the new foods and drinks at this year's Wisconsin State Fair.
The Ube Butter Banana French Toast Lumpia is the first place winner of the 2025 Sporkies. The selection was made by a panel of judges that included restaurateur Paul Bartolotta, food influencer Dominic Dean, and reporter Diana Gutierrez, who tells WTMJ.
I think what I was looking for was definitely the wow factor on any specific dish, whether it was a dessert treat or whether it was an actual burger or an actual meal that you can enjoy. When you think of the Wisconsin State Fair, I think you think of unique.
The fair starts this Thursday. Elizabeth Linton, WTMJ News.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow down 9 points. NASDAQ up 84. S&P 500 up 10. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth. Annex Private Client. Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time, 11:05.
A cancer diagnosis shouldn't mean we can't make plans. It shouldn't mean living without joy or optimism. Cancer shouldn't be calling the shots. At the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, we're pushing to put cancer in its place by pulling together teams of leading specialists and researchers who work tirelessly for breakthroughs, who are developing innovative ways to treat every cancer, to treat your cancer. And by providing the largest cancer clinical trials treatment program in Wisconsin, so there are more treatment options and more reasons to be hopeful. So let's keep innovating. Let's keep discovering. Let's push to make every cancer diagnosis a story of survivorship and bring back the lightness of life that cancer takes away. To learn more about breakthrough cancer care, visit Froedtert.com/cancer.
WTMJ's John Mercure here. If you're trying to make sense of this economy and where we're headed, Friday, August 1st, you need to check out a webinar with Annex Wealth Management's Chief Economist, Brian Jacobson. Friday, August 1st at 9 a.m. It's Instant Insight. Just after the jobs report is released, Brian will provide instant analysis on the employment picture, answer your questions, and explain what it all means to you and your money. Visit WTMJ.com and click the Instant Insight Register Now button or check out events at annexwealth.com.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's construction season, and the Wisconsin DOT wants to help you safely navigate work zones in your area. Check 511wi.gov or download the free 511 app to see current road work, closures, detours, and camera views on your route. Wherever your travels take you, know before you go with 511wi.gov. That's 511wi.gov. And remember, know before you go. Always park the phone while driving. Sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers earned a series victory, beating the Cubs 9-3 at home. Teams wrap up their series today. Packers training camp. Green Bay linebacker Marshawn Lloyd didn't practice Tuesday due to a groin injury he suffered Monday. Coach Matt LaFleur says he doesn't think the injury happened when Lloyd was hit by cornerback Nate Hobbs, which is when Lloyd left practice. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We had a crash on the ramp from I-43 south to Highland Avenue. Looks like that has been cleared. I-41 north at the ramp from 7 Mile Road. The left shoulder there was blocked due to a crash. That also has been cleared off. Still a little bit of slowing I-43 southbound, Brown Deer Road to downtown. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Air quality alert in place till noon Thursday for all of Wisconsin. Rain and storms clearing out tonight after a high of 74. It'll be 64 overnight. Mostly sunny, breezy tomorrow, high 72. Sunny, nice on Friday with a high 74. And for the weekend, sunshine 78 both Saturday and Sunday. 73 in Madison, 71 in Green Bay, 69 still in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:08.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scaffidi and Kristin Brey.
Welcome back to the 11 o'clock hour of Point Taken, our last hour in the studio for the next 10 days.
Yes, State Fair begins tomorrow. Looking forward to it.
I haven't gotten to look through the Sporky winners that were announced yesterday yet.
I sent you the list.
You sent me the list. I got to look through it. It does look like there's like a funfetti pizza situation. At first glance, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
Just an overview of it. There's some weird combinations.
There usually is, though.
Yeah. So I'm open to it. I'm not going to eat any. I don't know if there is any of these things. No live bugs.
No live bugs.
Probably
Open to dead bugs.
maybe.
That's what I'm getting from that?
I think if they're deep fried, I probably would eat them. Yes, because bugs in many
High
parts
protein.
many parts of the world, that's a protein source. All right, I'm going to start this segment by saying this: I believe in vaccines. I believe in the strong professional advice of health professionals. I believe them before I'll ever believe an elected official who thinks they're up on science because they've read something or talked to somebody who works in that industry. So that's sort of my start. But I get a flu shot every year. I've been fully vaccinated as a child through my young adult life. I got the RSV shot. I got the shingles vaccine, which is 2 shots, all in on vaccines. I saw this story yesterday, or maybe I saw it this morning. Here's the headline. Republican lawmakers circulate bill to raise awareness of how to opt out of vaccines for children.
In Wisconsin.
In Wisconsin, yes. And Republican lawmakers.
And Wisconsin is trending behind the national average as far as vaccine rates for children.
Yeah, in the last few years, we sort of doubled still a small number, less than 10%, but we've doubled the number of people who are sort of opting out.
Wisconsin is a state where you can opt out for any reason.
Yes.
You don't have to have a religious reason or health reason to opt your children out.
So this new bill, authored by Representative Lindy Ray Brill, she's a Republican from Sheboygan Falls, and Senator Rachel Cabral Guevara from Appleton, also Republican, they say informs parents of the right to waive the immunization requirement for their child to attend school, a child care center, or nursery school. They're sort of putting us all under the umbrella of transparency. Direct quote from the bill. It simply assures that parents are informed of their rights at the time they are making enrollment decisions. Pretty sure that's already happening without this bill. But remember the source of bills, lawmakers. This is the same person, Cabral Guevara, who's a nurse practitioner.
Mm-hmm.
She chairs the Senate Committee on Health, too, by the way. She's worked against vaccines in the past. She's a big fan of natural immunity. Now, I've heard this argument a million times. We talked about it extensively. I did whole shows on this during the pandemic, obviously.
I remember.
Yeah. Here's the thing about that. So, yes, natural immunity is a good thing. It sort of builds up your body's defenses.
That's why I let Frankie eat stuff off the ground.
Really? Did not know that, but maybe that's why I eat stuff off the ground. But there are also risks to that. There's complications. There's long-term health care issues. And in some cases, death. And sort of the sample size I'm going to use is the history of vaccines in America for the last, 80 to 100 years. They have worked to prevent people suffering miserably from measles and polio and have saved thousands of lives. So yes, natural immunity will protect some people. It doesn't protect all people. But on just the comparison, if you get the vaccine, much better success rate than if you just go natural immunity. It's not exclusive, it's not absolute, but that's just the way I look at it. So vaccines are sort of the safe way to protect yourself. Again, nothing's perfect. Nothing ever will be perfect. There's no perfect vaccine. They haven't developed it yet. So when I see bills like this, I don't think it's necessary. And 2, I don't want to do anything, because right now Wisconsin is hovering at, I think, 86% vaccine rate for children. It might be children and adults. I'll have to check the numbers, which sort of puts us right on that number, right? It's like generally 90% gives us good, solid protection from a lot of the diseases that have plagued our country and our world for the last couple hundred years or beyond that. And I don't want to mess with that. And as I see the numbers tick up for parents opting out of vaccines, I worry about that. It doesn't mean you can't, but we have to, in order to make this system work, our healthcare system, we need a good buy-in on vaccines. And if you can jump in whenever you want. This is the way I feel about it.
I don't have everything you're saying is how I feel about it, too.
I don't know why this has to be so controversial. I don't know the pandemic sort of played with everyone's mindset on this to a ridiculous degree, arguing about all this stuff.
But it started before that.
Sure, it did. Places like California, I don't think their numbers are anywhere close to ours when it comes to vaccines. I'll look it up during the break.
It's higher.
You think it's higher?
Oh, I think the regulations, because I remember talking to a friend who is, she's from Wisconsin. She lives in California now. I would say, if I had to guess, as far as being part of the MAHA,
you're right, 96% California kindergartners.
I remember when she had one kid, and now she has 2. her talking about moving to Colorado specifically because they had looser regulations for child vaccination. And so it does not surprise me at all that California has, I think they have some of the toughest regulations in the country.
Yeah, but whatever we're talking about, chickenpox or diphtheria, tetanus, whooping cough, hepatitis, measles, pneumococcal pneumonia, polio, these are real things that plague people and can make them very sick or, in some cases, die. I don't know what the issue is here. Do I say you shouldn't have a right to opt out? I'm not saying that. There's faith-based reasons where a lot of people opt out. I understand that. But I don't want a group of people to start opting out just because it's politically popular. Does that make sense? Because that's sort of where this is going. A bill like this, if it was truly in the mode of transparency, would have more than Republican sponsors on it. Don't you think?
It's just weird to me that it's become so aligned politically.
It's dumb.
Like, I don't know what part of. I mean, I guess to a certain extent, you could argue that this falls under, bodily autonomy, and the choice to make decisions for your family and government out of your life and stuff. But there's still comes back to we have to live in a society together, and there's some things that we have to buy in to be able to take care of each other. I know we're all becoming more and more isolated, and technology is accelerating how quickly that we have the convenience of just solely sticking to ourselves instead of actually having to be in community with one another. But that's what vaccines are. It's the ability to keep the group healthy, and more individual thinking that I don't have to abide by that and I don't care about anybody else. It's not good. It's not good for our sense of community, our sense of survival. We need each other, and we need to take care of each other.
It's the simple, I'll put it really simply and base. It's the me versus the we, right? All about me, what I want to do, because my elected officials say I shouldn't be doing this, even though they know less about probably healthcare than you do. I don't get it. And that point you just made is brilliant, because we have to start thinking about some of the things that make us all safer, right? We were just talking to Tori Lowe about gun violence and the things that are happening in Milwaukee, and our health. And sometimes groupthink is dead right, and sometimes the sort of the intrusion of groupthink when it becomes dangerous, especially when you're talking about health policy, can be very, very bad for us. And I think this is one of those stories. I hope that it should never be a Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative argument, because it's not that. It's common sense. It's health and safety, and it's science, the real science, not the internet stuff, the stuff you got from your crazy drunk
not the
uncle.
Wellness influencer science.
Yeah, right. All right, that's my take on vaccines and this effort by some Republicans in the state of Wisconsin to change the rules under the guise of transparency. I say that's BS. I say it should get shut down. We'll see what happens on it. All right, quick break. Point taken. Kristin and Steve.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on August 5th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Atlanta Braves.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tune in August 5th at 6:15 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scaffidi. You don't have to put up with pain. I know that some people go right to surgery. You don't have to. Even the shots or the pills, there's another alternative, and that alternative is QC Kinetics. I am a patient at QC Kinetics. I've had 2 treatments. My elbow was really, really sore. And if you're watching on the monitors, I have a lot more flexibility and a lot less pain. And that's in 2 treatments. I'm not even halfway done yet. QC Kinetics uses your own body. They help restore and repair damaged tissue using natural cellular therapies. Your own body to heal itself. What a concept. You can even bring your MRIs and x-rays if you want to have them look and see what other doctors have told you about your problem. But you can fix this yourself with the help of QC Kinetics. Dr. Ashley Carabelli and her team are outstanding, great coaches. They explain everything thoroughly. That's the process that's worked for me, and it can work for you as well. Here's what you got to do. Get your life back. Get rid of that pain. Grab the phone right now and call. Don't wait. They are ready for you. 414-285-0000. 414-285-3474. Do not wait. I'll go slower. 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, that's the answer.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments. Behind the Bucks is Bucks history, like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Last week was kind of slow, but yes, have a handful of questions. We're going to be doing Ask Us Anything coming up at 11:35. So go ahead, ask us anything. Text them over 855-616-1620. How's your electric bill looking?
It's too high, but I have the air running constantly. It was so
What do you
humid.
keep your house at?
71.
That's what we do too.
Yeah. It seems like it's the right number. There are days when we could probably shut it down, but it's always that weird decision.
I shut it down. Mike sometimes comes in the house. He's like, "Why is it so hot in here?"
It's not, for me, it's not the heat, because I go to Vegas in the summer. It's the humidity. It's sticky. I don't want to be sticky. I don't want to sleep all, like, everything's touching my skin, and I want to feel dry and cool when I sleep. It's like in the wintertime, we shut our heat off at night. We're like polar bears. It's cold in our house. I think that's healthier for you.
Science says you sleep better when in a cold room than a hot room.
Yeah. I'm glad you said the word science, because I have made it a personal mission. That's a bad segue, isn't it? To know more about AI, because it's going to transform our lives. You know this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Artificial intelligence. Some people call it artificial general intelligence.
Some people call it A1.
Too, yeah, if you don't know what the H you're talking about. So as I've been reading about this, I wasn't aware of this. I'm reading a great book by Karen Powell. It's called The Empire of AI. And it tells the story of the men and their companies it is men primarily, who have created this empire of artificial intelligence. And you've heard the name of the companies, right?
OpenAI, Grok over at Twitter,
DeepMind at Microsoft,
Gemini at Google.
Yeah, they're all doing this.
I know Salesforce. I don't know Salesforce Salesforce is a B2B company. But
they're all chasing the same thing.
I mean, there's starting to be AI. I have one of the social media tools that I use has like an AI team member now that can help you analyze things. Like it's getting. So the software is getting sewn into a lot of the different things that we already use.
And you know this.
Your Gmail probably already has it.
Yeah.
Your text phone, because you've noticed when you text now that on the banner it summarizes what the text is instead of actually showing you what the text is.
Google searches, there's a little thing that says AI,
which has been terrible for bloggers. People. I've talked to so many people who traffic to their website, which they used to monetize with advertising, has just completely nosedived because Google changed SEO and search results, because they also now summarize the question that you're answering or you're asking.
So as I'm reading this book, I learned a couple things. One, Wisconsin, there's been phases of building these massive data centers, right? Around the world, South America, United States, Arizona primarily. You know what phase 5 is? It's essentially Wisconsin. Now we know about Mount Pleasant.
Is it the Midwest in general or specifically Wisconsin?
In the book, it cites Wisconsin. Why is that? Because we have a lot of available land and
water,
Lake Michigan. So the dirty little secret about AI, and this is played out horrifically in South America, they come in, they build these massive data centers. When those areas, and they have been for the last couple of decades, have faced serious drought, they're consuming all of their water supply. In some cases, forcing these communities to bring in water where they never had that problem before. But here's the thing. Everybody jumps up and down when they say, we're announcing a new data center is being built. Yay!
I don't know if everyone jumps up and down.
A lot of people.
But this is, because I remember covering this as far as what is it? Because it brings construction jobs. So it brings temporary construction jobs. But it doesn't bring permanent jobs, because it's mostly just a warehouse of servers.
Yes.
And what they need is electricity and water to cool them down so they don't overheat.
Yes, and that's exactly right.
So they need they need actual resources, but it isn't like a boost to the economy, because it's not like people are getting jobs and then
there's not thousands of people relocating to work there.
Yes.
It's just a big building that has to be cooled, and they're cooling it in one of two ways, with the air conditioners and our water. And surprise, surprise, when you have someone that uses massive amounts of electricity and water, it results in all the rest of us, the regular consumers, the little folks, actually paying more on our electric bills, as high as 20% this summer.
Mm-hmm.
So even though we're on the early part of what is now phase 5 of sort of this build-up, they have to create these massive data centers to sort of power the future when it comes to AI. They have to have those servers and all the equipment needed to supply the technical side, the backbone of all of this important infrastructure. Who's going to be left paying the bill? Us. And we're jumping up and down because somebody bought 1,000 acres in Sheboygan or Sheboygan Falls and, whatever it is in Mount Pleasant, which is probably more than 1,000 acres now. Yeah, that's great at the beginning when they buy the land and when they build the buildings, because all those construction workers are going to make a heck of a lot of money in a short amount of time. Cool. Then what happens? We're all going to pay for that. I'm not anti-AI, but you better start figuring that in to the equation.
Were you here when we interviewed the professor at UW about nuclear energy? Or was that while you were out?
I think I was out.
I mean, the only thing.
No, I was here. I was here.
You said like that is if the investments in nuclear could offset some of the energy costs and like pulling from the energy grid, but it's not like those are it's not like a quick turnaround to be able to start building nuclear energy spots that could be actually offsetting some of that.
Can you imagine in a state like Texas who already has power grid problems? They're not building one down there. If they do, they're stupid. We're a likely candidate because, again, we have a great lake, which supplies us. We got to take a break here. We're running late, but we got lots of stuff to talk about. And don't forget, Ask Us Anything coming up. We'll tease that up after the break on 620 WTMJ.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off-leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
Hey, this is WTMJ. Steve Scaffidi for Advent. Another game changer in my life. 5 years ago, as I went there, I had sleeping problems, right? Tossing and turning, snoring. My poor wife, Kathy, had to deal with all of that. But I went to Evan. I walked in. Their facilities are amazing, by the way. Clean, up to date, best technology, great staff, helpful, friendly, all of that. So I went in, asked all my questions. They answered some basic questions for me and determined my problem was sinuses and nasal passages in my breathing triangle. They said we should probably do a simple sleep study at home in my own bed, which we did. They decided my course of action best was a short procedure done in their office, and it changed my life because I'm breathing better than ever. More importantly, sleeping through the whole night. I wake up rested and refreshed, often as early as 5 o'clock in the morning. You want to feel like that? Take your life back. Take your sleep life back. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your nights and days better, go to AdventKnows.com. Schedule an appointment today because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
All right, I look forward to this next segment. We're going to do it for a half hour and ask us every time we do a show. I think it's fun to do. We already got a bunch of questions coming in. You can simply participate by listening, or if you have a question you'd like us to ask. Anything, yeah.
What's the most controversial or is anything made you go, oh, I'm not answering that?
I wouldn't, just by commenting, I would probably allude to the controversial nature of the question. And probably,
No, but is there any, like, what do you think's the most...
I would say something about, like, sex life or something. I probably got it
people have asked you about your
early
sex
in my
life?
career. Yes, certainly.
All right.
Before I grade up. Not that has anything to do with it, because as we know...
early on asked boxers or briefs.
Yeah, that's not
that
no.
personal.
Is that...
I don't know. Just didn't know. So it's been, you've got
I don't do a lot of
questions
people wear briefs anymore. Is that like a thing still?
Boxer briefs are a thing.
Yeah,
but like silk boxers that are loose that you have to like tuck into your pants. I don't think so.
I'm generally, this is probably more information. I'm not a fan of the silk feel on my body. I know there's like silk sheets, silk pajamas, silk boxers.
What's the pajamagram? What's the every year for the...
Yeah.
Isn't it silk pajamas?
I think so, yeah. I'm just generally not a fan of that. But
how did you never get that as a...
Because Jeff Wagner owned that, that's why. And credit to Jeff
I think
for doing
Vince has it now, right?
And good luck to Vince. Great partner here at WTMJ. Anyway, so questions are welcome. 855-616-1620. Surprise us. It can be politics. It doesn't have to be politics. It can be anything. Maybe throw us a softball. Maybe we'll do our best to figure it out. What do you think? Yeah?
Hit it out of the park, just like Vaughn?
Yeah, let's do it. God, is that an acquisition?
Grand slam.
That's an acquisition. All right, Connie's coming up with local news. Before I get to any of that, here's now the latest from ABC.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Tsunami alerts expiring, and the U.S. West Coast has not seen significant damage from waves. The tsunami threat triggered by the major earthquake off Russia's coast. The August 1st tariff deadline fast approaching. President Trump says he will not extend time for trade agreements. Today announcing India faces 25% hikes on its imports starting Friday. ABC's Jay O'Brien says tariffs on overseas goods could weigh on U.S. businesses and ultimately get passed on to consumers.
The president also recently announcing the framework for a deal with the European Union and saying that he signed a trade agreement with Japan last week. But still, consumers bracing for potential price hikes. The president's tariff policies are projected to cost the average U.S. household $2,400 a year, according to one estimate.
The Fed board wraps up its policy meeting today and will issue a decision on interest rates. A dangerous heat wave continuing to grip much of the country, with cooler air starting to move into the upper plains. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 11:31. I'm Connie Weber. A Wisconsin man's pleaded guilty to smuggling lab equipment to Russian companies in violation of U.S. sanctions. 68-year-old Andrew Pogosian of Madison allegedly worked through his company, Omega Diagnostics LLC, to ship lab equipment to Russian companies, including one that performed chemical research for the Russian military. He faces up to 35 years in prison when sentenced October 7th. In Madison, hidden cameras were found at a rental property. Police called to the home on Ashworth Drive on the city's southwest side July 20th by renters who found the camera in the bathroom. Police looking for anyone else who may have stayed at the property recently while they continue searching the home for more evidence. More details on our website, WTMJ.com. Wisconsin's joined a multi-state lawsuit challenging the Trump administration's demand that states turn over personal data of people enrolled in the SNAP program. USDA says the data will help it combat waste, fraud, and abuse. But in the lawsuit, Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul of the coalition argued the demand violates multiple federal privacy laws. Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow up 41 points, 44,674. NASDAQ up 91 at 21,189. S&P 500 up 14 points at 6,385. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. There could be some lane closures due to debris in the roadway. This is going to be I-41, 94 north, about a third of a mile beyond Elm Road. Still a little bit of slowing, 94 eastbound the Zoo interchange to downtown, 41 south from Highway Q to the Zoo, and 43 southbound Brown Deer Road to downtown. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. An air quality alert in place till noon Thursday for all of Wisconsin. Cloudy today and rain continuing till maybe this evening, and then it should taper off. High today 74. Overnight low 64. Mostly sunny, nice tomorrow, high of 72. Sunshine on Friday, a high of 74. Mostly sunny Saturday and Sunday, highs both days 78. 71 in Madison and 70 in Green Bay and Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:33.
If you've ever worried about your heart, if you've ever loved someone with heart disease, if you've ever wondered if you're the one at risk, let's remind ourselves that we are not powerless. Because at the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, we're pushing to outsmart heart and vascular disease by working with you personally to understand your history, assess your risks, and guide you to heart strength. By digging deep with tireless research and offering access to leading-edge clinical trials. And for the most serious conditions, including heart failure, heart valve disease, arrhythmias, and vascular diseases, we provide renowned expertise and the most advanced life-saving procedures you expect from academic medicine. So let's get out in front of heart disease. Let's outsmart it. Let's keep pushing so that every one of us can outrun it and embrace every beautiful day life in Wisconsin has to offer. To learn more about our nationally renowned heart and vascular care, visit froedtert.com/heart.
Tony Evers and the Madison Democrats are too weak and too radical. But the same old career politicians can't stop them.
I'm Bill Berrien, a former Navy SEAL and Wisconsin manufacturer. I'm an outsider and a businessman, just like President Trump. I'm running for governor to advance the Trump agenda, shake up Madison, and put Wisconsin citizens first.
Let's fire the bureaucrats. Hire the outsider. Bill Berrien for governor. Paid for by Bill for Governor.
While our former manager thought things would be different down south, did he ever consider that the ivy may not be greener on the other side?
So glad he left. Addition by subtraction.
It's the Brewers and the Cubs in Milwaukee.
And they're coming back to Milwaukee with the best record in baseball in their back pocket.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 12:35. This series is sponsored by IKEA in Oak Creek. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ. Now it's time for Ask Us Anything on Point Taken. Got a burning question? Give us a call or text on the Siding Unlimited Talk and Text line at 855-616-1620.
We got a lot of questions already, Steve.
There we go.
All right, where do you want to start?
I'll read James. I'm not sure what he means by the spirit of the law, but he says, given one choice, what would you prefer, a world where we live by the letter of the law or one where the spirit of the law reigns supreme? James from Milwaukee. I'm a letter of the law guy. That's what the law says. Follow it.
So what do you think? I don't know. What is the difference?
It sounds like
Maybe
spirit
I
of the
sound like
law
an idiot.
means we try to do the best we can to manage the conduct and the character of our nation. That's what I'm taking away. James, if you have more information on that, certainly I can elaborate. But I've always been a letter of the law guy. That's what the law says. Follow the law.
What about the things when you're like the law that shouldn't be the law? Like the law once was like the Jim Crow era. The law said you could, and that's what I'm asking. The law is the law.
The law now is not the law.
I know, but if there's things that are unjust now, but that's what the law says you can or cannot do. Are you someone who says, well, we should change the law? You're like, well, that's the law.
Okay, so that's a good example. But if we all started examining the laws that way, who's right, who's wrong, then we have no laws.
But isn't that the question? So it's like, let's use a different example. I mean, women couldn't get credit cards until 1974. There was
that was a policy, not a law. But
okay, Well, what do you mean by that?
Well, they couldn't vote. I mean,
they couldn't vote.
Yeah.
So that was the law,
yeah,
right?
Not good.
So I'm saying, like, I think there is people who want to push the boundaries of the law and have laws change.
Say my answer would be you'd advocate for that change. You don't just break the law.
You just don't break the law.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good distinction.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. When is Max coming back?
Max will make an appearance. I believe it's the last Friday of the fair. He will be in studio at the Fish Bowl.
I'm excited to meet him.
Yeah. You never met Max?
I think I met him at your house once back in 2021.
I'm going to have him bring a joke or two.
Right.
That's really when he became well known. He would provide us with a joke, very clean jokes, as you'd expect.
I would hope.
From a 9.5-year-old, almost 10. But he'll be there, and he used to. A couple times he got to interview the governor. The governor is going to be there on Wednesday the 6th, I think in the 11 o'clock hour. So he doesn't get to do that this year, but he always looks forward to it. We always go down the big slide together.
Oh.
Although I think now we used to go together. Now we race. And he usually kicks my butt because I'm a big load compared to
I would think that means you'd go faster.
No,
down.
not really.
It
No,
slows
he
you down?
flies down that hill.
Okay.
Yeah. And Max is super competitive. He's like the most competitive person I know. He's 9.5 years old. So he's always fun to do that with. And grandkids, you'll experience this someday, are just awesome. Yeah. Everybody knows that. Yeah. And don't forget, Kristin and I will be at the fair the whole run during the week. And we'll actually make ourselves available after the show. We have our little booth.
From 12 to 1.
Yeah, you can ask us questions. We'll stick around for a little bit. We're going to do some social media stuff. on the fairgrounds. I always like to go meet people. I love the Wisconsin building. I love the Expo Center where you can buy the the funky mops and those chop-o-matics, or what do they call those things? We've actually fallen prey to those sales techniques.
I bought shoe cleaner last year.
Why?
That I've not used since I bought it.
I've got chamois that I bought like 20 years ago that are still rolled up in my garage. Seriously.
It seems like a good idea.
They sell you on this stuff, and you're like addicted to it. All right. Let's see. Let's scroll through some of these things.
Did you ever learn to play Bobby Jean on the piano?
I'm in process. So my great teacher, Shelley, has been working with me on chords. And, anyone who's played piano, chords are sort of the foundational piece you need to play most songs and most music. And most rock music is chord-based. I mean, it's not as much individual handwork. It's chords. So, three fingers on each hand. So I'm learning that, and then we're close. So I'm starting to bring in new songs to the lineup, and I love old songs too, like Claire de Lune, but I got to refresh. As my wife says, play something new. Not that Bobby Jean is new, because the song's got to be like 25 years old at least, but it's newer.
For you.
It's newer.
New for you.
And new for me. This is an interesting question. We were talking about gun violence earlier. Do you think more and more of our finest police officers will be leaving since they're not getting paid what they're worth?
Leaving to go where?
Retire would probably be the common one. A lot of people are close to retirement. That's a big problem in Milwaukee. I
have to imagine that the salary that MPD gets has to be some of the highest in the state.
I've heard on our airways they've been arguing they haven't got a pay raise in 2 years.
Well, no. I know that they're negotiating for a pay raise right now, and I know that is part of the conversation. But as far as if you look at the municipalities across the state of Wisconsin, I would imagine, I don't know this for a fact.
Probably,
so it's like unless they're leaving to go to a bigger city that also has bigger city problems, I don't know where they would. So retirement makes sense, but as far as leaving, or just leaving the profession in
I can tell you this because I know a lot of police chiefs. They're all hiring.
Oh yeah, no, I know that.
Given an escalation in gun violence, we just talked about the Water Street situation with our teammate Tori Lowe earlier. You can find other places to work, and that's not a good thing for Milwaukee. You want to retain the best talent. You want to pay them, and probably more importantly, because we've had too many cases of this in the last 6 years, keep them safe. Mm-hmm. It's a tough job. People should understand that. All right, keep the questions coming, 855-616-1620. The Siding Unlimited WTMJ Talking Text Line. Ask us anything, Kristin and Steve. We're waiting for your questions, anxiously waiting, eager to answer. That'll happen after this.
And that's why you should never trust a raccoon wearing a necktie.
What are you doing, Arvid?
Telling Nicole a joke.
Here?
At Penny Mustard?
No, I mean here, next to the Theon dining room table.
What's wrong with that?
This is no laughing matter. The Theon table is proper, stoic, and no nonsense.
It has good table manners.
Come on, act with dignity.
The Theon brings something to the table.
Stop that.
And those Herald chairs are so friendly, they always have your back.
Can we please focus on the Theon table's American-made craftsmanship and solid wood construction?
You would not believe how sturdy this table is.
Be serious.
All right, Ben.
Let's table this discussion until later.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Come see the Theon table, paired with 6 Herald chairs, starting at $47.95 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Serious versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
Here's the secret no one's telling you about those trendy weight loss shots. Many people gain the weight back after stopping, but there's a better way. Using the Milwaukee Weight Loss proprietary natural-based program, we've helped thousands of people not just lose weight, but keep it off long-term. You can lose up to 10 to 20% of your body weight in just 8 weeks while protecting your muscle mass. No side effects, no rebounds. Ready to transform your body for life? You can do this. Schedule your free consultation today at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scaffidi. I dropped 40 pounds with Milwaukee Weight Loss. No crazy workouts, no meal kits or shakes, and definitely no meds or injections. They helped reset my metabolism, and the weight's actually stayed off. It's been a game changer for me. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. Schedule your free consultation today by calling 262-393-2334. One more time, 262-393-2334. Or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Bank 5-9 has a mission to make lives better.
They make it a priority to give back to their customers, communities, and their employees. In fact, Bank 5-9 was just honored again by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel as a top workplace. That makes 16 years in a row. Want to learn more about working with the great people at Bank 5-9? Visit bank59.com/careers. Equal Opportunity Employer, member FDIC.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets, something that can positively affect your mood, getting organized and clearing out the clutter. A well-rounded closet could be the most powerful room in your home. Inspired Closets can transform your closets or laundry room, your pantry, any space in your house. What separates Inspired Closets from the others? Their 3D design software and a culture that promises to build what you want and need. Call my friends Katie and Dan today, a wife-husband team ready to help. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
Welcome back to Point Taken, and it's Wednesday, so ask us anything. And we have a lot of questions. Here's a softball for Steve. What is the most beautiful area you visited when you traveled to Ireland?
I traveled to Scotland, but
Scotland.
I appreciate some of the coastal communities. So you have the beautiful ocean, North Sea to the east, and then you look back and there's these hillsides with like millions of sheep on them and red deer running around. It's absolutely breathtaking.
Mm-hmm.
So that's on the natural side. I love castles and I love old stuff. So we saw that in Edinburgh. The castle there is amazing, and I would encourage you to go check it out. That's on the eastern side of Scotland. And the Neolithic sites, which is ancient sites that are still there, some of the henges with the upright pillars of stone. It's amazing you can see something that someone was interacting with like 8,000 years ago or 7,000.
Yeah.
That blows me away.
Yeah.
Wherever I go in the world, and I've started to see some stuff, and I still have the Great Wall on my list and Machu Picchu to go to, I'm blown away that those things still remain, that we can actually see them. And I'll be in Egypt in March of next year, hopefully touching a pyramid. Yeah.
Do they let you climb those things?
No, they don't. Like, no climbing anymore. I'm not a big climber anyway, but so thanks for the question. It was Scotland, Fox World Travel. If you ever want to see the country, I'm sure they'll do that trip again. It's a complete circuit around the country of Scotland, and then you go into the interior at the end. It's whether it's Edinburgh or Glasgow, gorgeous.
Got it. All right. Tom from New Berlin wants to know about our workout regimens.
I'm a walker, so I try to do 10,000 a day every day. I don't always get there, but I'm at least 8,000. So, and sometimes I'll do the steps twice.
Did you increase your workouts with the weight loss program?
Yes.
Okay.
I kind of
the walking, not weightlifting, not.
I did weight training. Here's the thing about weight training: it made me a lot stronger. My golf game was great, and my core was incredible. But I didn't lose weight on it. Some people don't lose weight. I had incredible strength, but do I need incredible strength? I just need good strength. So I still do some of the stuff at home. I do sit-ups and all that stuff, and that my appetite for that stuff has sort of gone away. But I had great Impact Fitness in Oak Creek. I worked with them for a year and a half. Love those folks that work there, great trainers. It's hard work, and some people can lose weight on it. I just wasn't. So for me, it was more managing my diet, which is what Milwaukee Weight Loss does. But you got to do it all, especially at my age. You got to move. If you sit, you will die. You got to move around.
Yeah.
So for me, it's 8,000 to 10,000 at least. And when we were in Vegas, Kathy and I were doing 15,000 steps a day. They have these, you could take the escalator, we take the stairs up. And some of these stairs was like 3 levels. You feel the burn in your quads when you get to the top level, trust me. But it's a good workout.
Yeah.
And
I like working out. I just don't find the time to work out.
It's hard. Well, you got a little kid, you got a couple jobs.
But I would say my big goal for myself is starting to do more weightlifting, because I've read a lot as far as, especially as a woman, once you get in your 40s, how much strength you lose.
Mm-hmm.
And my kid is not small. And she's at the age right now where she likes to be carried, and she's 35 pounds. So I gotta, so I don't throw my back out trying to carry this massive toddler around.
I was lugging my granddaughter Charlie around at a family reunion event, and she probably weighs 25 or 30 pounds. She's heavy. And we're standing there taking this big group picture, and it's hot out. It's like, oh my God, how much does this kid weigh? And here's me. I got this. Don't save your text. Charlie in one arm, my cigar in my hand, well away from Charlie in the other. And people are looking at me like, shouldn't you put that cigar
Put the cigar down.
I don't want it to go out. I enjoyed a cigar. Is it a crime? All right, quick Foxconn question. Hey, gang, it's been 8 years since Scott Walker and Donald Trump announced the Foxconn development. Big news, right? Exchange for $2.85 billion in state tax credits. Those have been reduced since then. Did Wisconsin get scammed? How many people actually worked there?
Well, I know, I'm trying to remember quickly, because I know Tony Evers kind of had like a revival deal.
Yeah.
That it was not, it didn't end up being as big as what it originally was promised, but it's not totally dead. Do you have more details on this?
No, I was going to Google it quickly, but there are probably, instead of thousands, because I think at one time it was like 12,000, it's hundreds.
Yeah.
They've acquired a lot of property to the dismay of some people that have their property.
I mean, there's still, every time you go down Wisconsin Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, you're like, oh, there's a Foxconn sign. And it's just a reminder of like,
I'm not going to use the word scammed, but we were sold something that we didn't deliver. Now, those, and I think they're right on this, critics of that deal say, this is what they've done before. Yeah, that's what they've done before. Now, we have since reduced those sort of paybacks to Foxconn based on they're not doing anything. What that eventually will be, we talked about it before. I wouldn't be shocked that it eventually was sort of some sort of a data center. They have the land.
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Now, linking Foxconn to the companies that are involved in AI is a give and take that hasn't happened yet, at least as far as...
Well, because they're hardware.
Yes. So how that would work, I don't know, but if you have artificial intelligence and you need equipment to operate it, maybe there's something that could be worked out there. I don't think it's dead. It's just nothing like we were promised. All right, we'll take a break. We still have some more great questions. You can get them in, and we'll try to get them in before the end of the show. It is Ask Us Anything. She's Kristin Brey. I'm Steve Scaffidi on Point Taken on 620 WTMJ.
When we're out in your town, come say hi as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show, wherever we may be.
You can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
News Radio 620 WTMJ.
Hey, speaking of WTMJ, Steve Scaffidi here. I am trying to make sense out of this economy, and I'm sure you are as well. So I was just talking about my instant insight this afternoon. Well, there's another one Friday, August 1st. That's this Friday. You need to check out the webinar with Annex Wealth Management's Brian Jacobson, genius, chief economist. This Friday, August 1st, 9 a.m. This one has to do with the instant insight of the jobs report, which is going to be released that morning. Brian will provide instant analysis on the employment picture, answer your questions, which is always a great feature of these instant insights, and explains what it all means for you and your money. Visit WTMJ.com, click on the Instant Insight Register Now button. It's always available. Or check out the events at annexwealth.com. That's this Friday, August 1st, with the one, the only Brian Jacobson. He should get a pay raise. Don't miss it. Join Brian Jacobson for instant analysis on the employment picture. He'll answer your questions and explain what it all means to you and your money. Visit WTMJ.com or visit the events.com page. Visit the events section of AnnexWealth.com. I'm having
so you got it?
I got a brain freeze. That's when you read something so often. Friday, August 1st, 9 a.m. Brian Jacobson, AnnexWealth.com events page.
There are a lot of lawyers in Wisconsin, but only the top 5% are awarded the distinction of super lawyer, including 94% of the attorneys in our firm. In fact, 25 of our attorneys were named super lawyers last year, as well as the #1 lawyer in Wisconsin, and 6 more were named rising stars. Not every car accident case requires a super lawyer, but why settle for anything less on your case? Habish, Habish & Rotier, national reputation, hometown service. Visit habish.com for more information.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
Hey, this is Honest Eddie from the car lot down the street.
Hi, Honest Eddie.
Is it true your showrooms don't have any employees?
That's right. Hasselus Mattress showrooms are employee-free.
Now, don't you be dishonest with Honest Eddie.
It's true. Give the mattresses a try with no pushy sales guide. And through Monday, get additional instant savings of $248 off Sealy Posturepedic and Beauty Rest.
Son, to make it in sales, you gotta pressure people. Like, what's your budget? Or Sure, I know it's the most expensive model, but trust me, it's the right one for you. And what's it gonna take to get you into a Sealy Posturepedic or Beauty Rest today?
But that's hassling customers.
Yeah, so?
Our store is called Hassle Less Mattress.
Just change the name. How about Wacky Westerns?
Uh-oh, you're breaking up. Gotta go.
Wait, no, let me talk to my manager.
Hassle-less mattress, 100% Eddie-free. Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at hasseless.com.
Take your family to the Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford or Oshkosh today for the Wednesday all-you-can-eat fish fry and just $7.99. Kids 5 and under eat free from the kids menu. Just walk in for your $7.99 fish fry. It's big food. It's big fun. It's the Mine Shaft restaurant.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
You're pronouncing Edinburgh.
I know my wife tells me that all the time. It's Edinburgh. Edinburgh. Yeah. Yeah, I've done that. I've done that with the city I was born in.
But it's also one of those things when you're like, are you really going to be the jerk who's like, it's Ibiza instead of just calling it Ibiza because you're like forcing an accent even though it's how the natives pronounce it and you just sound like a pretentious jerk.
Yeah, like you're trying to be them.
Yeah.
Like I'm not
Ibiza.
that. Like I was born near Wiltshire in England, but I call it Wiltshire, and they're like, no, that's not how it's called.
That's not it.
Yeah.
Here's a good. All right, you got one.
Ghislaine Maxwell, sex trafficker, serving a prison sentence for child sex trafficking, and other offenses in connection with the Jeffrey Epstein story, that case. Who, depending on what you believe, killed himself in prison. Texter basically asked. I don't have it in front of me, but the question was basically,
will she out Trump? No.
I mean, probably not.
No.
There's
like
only
her best chance at a lifeline. Why would she ever do that?
The only people that really know what happened is Jeffrey Epstein, who's dead, Donald Trump, who's not going to talk about it, and the victims, and Ghislaine Maxwell. That's it, right?
One of who's committed suicide was one of the women who apparently was poached from Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, and to all the folks who say we should stop talking about it, the President of the United States himself talked about this extensively on the campaign. So which president am I supposed to believe, the one in the campaign or the one now? Because it's the same case, same stories, right? He's not going to out himself. I would actually I'd like to see her testify to see what she says. But if I see testimony that goes after one side of the political aisle, it's not really worth anything. Because you know that pretty much was a bipartisan effort, I would guess.
So we had an interesting question that I have to be honest with myself about. So, we don't have a lot of time left, but I think we should come back at that. But we had Steve, you're a Republican. Did you ever vote for Democrat? Kristin, you're a Dem. Did you ever vote for a Republican? And we only have like 10 seconds left in the show. But I think it's something, let's save this for tomorrow.
Sure.
Because I think it's one interesting as far as also the difference of our ages. Because I would say since my involvement in politics, it's become so partisan. And I've also lived in such democratic cities that I think there's a lot to unpack here. So let's do it tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Thanks for the questions. Sorry for those we didn't get to today, but we'll do it again next week. And or you come ask us in person starting tomorrow at State Fair. News is next.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.